Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. My name is CB Harris, and this is the Monday SITREP. This is where we talk about your Second Amendment rights, your right to keep and bear arms. We also discuss people who use their firearms for self-defense and the defense of their homes, their loved ones, and their property. We also have a section called What's New, where we talk about new things in the firearms industry. We talk about guns, knives, gear, lots of stuff like that. So let's get on with the show. Today I want to talk to you guys about the Second Amendment. Specifically, I want to start out by saying the Second Amendment does not give you the right to keep and bear arms. Now, before you guys lynch me down in the comment section, I will say this. The Second Amendment guarantees that right, but that is not where I get that right. That right is given to me by birth, by being an American citizen, by being born, by being one of God's children. I have that right. And that's all of the rights that are in our Constitution, whether they're an amendment or not, are given to me naturally by being born. If you read it and really understand it and look at the language, it isn't telling me, hey, you have this right. Instead, what it's doing is telling the government, you can't mess with this right because this is given to them by their Creator. And that's what I think a lot of people tend to forget. They think that, these rights that we have are gifted upon us by a benevolent government, and it's a good thing we like you because we're going to let you do these things. But that's just it. These rights are given to me by my Creator, by God. And all of the Constitution and the amendments, what they do is spell out the fact that government can't mess with those rights. And it's the same with the Second Amendment. A well-regulated militia being necessary to the security of a free state, the right of the people to keep and bear arms shall not be infringed. So, what does all that mean exactly? Well, a lot of people look at some of the rights, talk about, especially in the Bill of Rights, talk about, they put restrictions on government. The government shall not do this. The government will not mess with this. Okay, and the Second Amendment, the wording doesn't sound the same. Okay, the Sixth Amendment is similar to that, so it's not unique. Instead, what it does is it tells you what you have the right to do. But at the end, it still puts a restriction on the government. Shall not be infringed. Those are words of warning to the government that you shall not infringe upon the people's rights to keep and bear arms. That, my friends, is what it's supposed to be. I think we know that we're not there. We haven't been there in quite some time. What about some of the other words? Keep. I have the right to own them, right? I have the right to own arms. Bear. I have the right to carry arms. And I have the right to carry them how I see fit. If I want to open carry, if I want to concealed carry, it doesn't specify that. But it covers it in the next line in the shall not be infringed. So, how did we end up at this point? Well, we allowed it to happen. It's kind of that death by 1,000 cuts. It's that, the theory that, one thread, we can handle one thread, and we can always break free from that until you find yourself bound by heavy cords, if you've ever heard that saying before. That's kind of how this has happened. We've allowed it to happen to ourselves. We've looked at, oh, you know what? This makes sense. We should probably restrict this. And that's how the anti-gun people are doing it. This common sense gun safety, common sense reform. Well, you know what? We've already passed that point. And now we're not talking about common sense anymore. We're talking about restrictions on our freedoms, restrictions on our rights, God-given rights that cannot be taken away and should not be taken away. In fact, we should be getting those rights back instead of allowing them to be degraded even further. So, anyway, guys, those are my thoughts on the Second Amendment. I would love to hear from you guys. I want to know what your thoughts are, so leave it down in the comment section. I want to hear what you guys think. What are your thoughts on the Second Amendment? Okay, so next on the life or death files, it's a man protects his wife and his home and actually holds the perpetrator at gunpoint. Okay, so this happened in Sevierville, Tennessee, and Derek C. Whaley He's apparently he is a felon and a little bit on meth, I think. He's got a problem. He decided to kick in a door of a home. The homeowners were asleep upstairs. They heard the commotion. They called the police at 5:50 a.m. So this happened pretty early in the morning. The man armed himself and went and confronted Whaley at gunpoint, and he actually held him at gunpoint until the county sheriff could arrive. Whaley was found with meth and a syringe, and he is being held at the Seaver County Jail. He is being charged with aggravated assault, aggravated burglary, unlawful possession of a weapon by a convicted felon, gun possession during a commission of a violent felony, and narcotics possession. At one point, Whaley actually pointed his firearm at the homeowner. The homeowner was well within his rights to shoot and kill this person who kicked in the door. He did not do that. Okay, I think the anti-gun people seem to think that that happens all the time, that's what always happens. Instead of things like this where cooler heads prevailed. Now, did he do the right thing? I don't know. I can't say for sure whether he did the right thing. I think he points the gun at you. I think that threat is obvious. Don't take that chance. It's not worth your life to take that chance that he might not shoot you. Next on What's New, this is a product from Alien Gear.
So, what's new?
Okay, so this is, what I'm talking about here, this is the Alien Gear Cloak Dock Holster Mount. So what it is, this is a mount that you can put under a desk, a table, you can put it in your vehicle, you could put it on your, by your bedside, something like that, and you could actually have multiples of these and have one in all of these different locations. And what it does is it mounts your, if you have an Alien Gear, the cloak mod outside the waistband holster, this locks right into it. It will lock into it, then you can still draw your firearm from it, and it's really just a docking station for your holster. It's a pretty cool idea, I think. I think it's pretty interesting. You can move your holster from your hip to your vehicle to your bedside, all just by locking the holster into place. One holster, multiple mounts, you can put it at all kinds of places. The mount by itself is $14.88, or you can buy it as a set with the holster, save a little bit of money. With the holster, it's $57.88. And again, multiple mounts, I think, would definitely be the way to go. You could have them all over the place, anywhere that you think you're going to want to mount that firearm. I think this is a great idea, and I know that Alien Gear, they've been around for a little while now. They actually make some pretty good gear at very reasonable prices. So be sure to check that out. As always, I will include links down in the description box down there, so be sure to check all that out. That is the end of the show today. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, it is always appreciated when you like and share the videos. If you're not a subscriber and you want to see more stuff just like this, find that subscribe button and give it a big old click, and then come back next time for another Monday Sit Rep. Remember that your mind, that is your most important tool, so it is vitally important to be armed with information. Until next time, take care and be safe. Charlie Bravo out. Last week, I talked about doing a video a day for the month of September. I put the challenge out to Jarhead6. I should have talked to him beforehand. He's got some life stuff happening, and so yeah, I think we're going to postpone that. It looks like maybe November. We're going to still try to do that. He's on board with it so far. We'll see how things turn out as we get a little bit closer to November, but that's the plan now. Is November, doing a video a day for that entire month. We're going to see how that's going to work out. It's going to be, I'm going to be pushing myself for that one. So anyway, I hope you guys will come back, and you know what? Take care.